Welcome to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon. In the interconnected world of telecommunications, few systems are as crucial, yet as vulnerable, as SS7. Short for Signaling System Number 7, this intricate network of protocols serves as the invisible backbone of global communication. Imagine SS7 as the air traffic control of the telecom world, seamlessly routing calls, messages, and data across continents. Developed in the 1970s, SS7 prioritized functionality over security, a decision that has come to haunt the digital landscape. At its core, SS7 operates on a system of trust, assuming all connected networks and operators are benevolent actors. However, this trust is increasingly misplaced in our era of sophisticated cyber threats, where malicious actors exploit vulnerabilities for espionage, financial gain, and disruption. The ability to track locations, intercept messages, and reroute calls, intended for legitimate purposes, can be hijacked with alarming ease by those with malicious intent. This inherent weakness has paved the way for a new breed of attacks, leaving individuals, corporations, and even government entities exposed. Real-world attacks have exposed the fragility of this system, underscoring the urgent need for a collective, proactive approach to securing this critical infrastructure. The inherent trust upon which SS7 operates has become a breeding ground for a range of vulnerabilities ripe for exploitation. Hackers, both state-sponsored and independent, have developed an arsenal of techniques to infiltrate and manipulate this critical infrastructure. One of the most concerning vulnerabilities lies in SS7's location tracking capabilities. Originally designed to facilitate services like location-based services and emergency calls, this feature can be manipulated to pinpoint a user's whereabouts with alarming accuracy. This is the reality of SS7 exploitation, where attackers can intercept and reroute SMS messages, bypassing even two-factor authentication mechanisms designed to protect sensitive information. Financial institutions, relying heavily on SMS for transaction verification, have become prime targets, with attackers siphoning funds from unsuspecting customers. Furthermore, the ability to intercept and eavesdrop on calls, once the domain of spy thrillers, has become a disturbing reality. By exploiting SS7 vulnerabilities, attackers can position themselves between two unsuspecting parties, silently listening in on conversations or even manipulating the call flow. The implications for privacy, corporate espionage, and national security are profound. This interconnectedness demands a coordinated international response, one that recognizes the shared responsibility in safeguarding this critical infrastructure. The year is 2019. The United Kingdom's Metro Bank, a digital-first financial institution, finds itself at the center of a cybersecurity maelstrom. Hackers exploiting vulnerabilities in the SS7 network launch a sophisticated attack designed to circumvent the bank's security measures and drain customer accounts. By intercepting SMS messages, the lifeblood of two-factor authentication, they gain access to customer accounts without ever needing to know their login credentials. Customers, believing they are communicating directly with their bank, unwittingly provide authorization codes, granting the attackers free rein over their finances. While the exact details of the Metro Bank attack remain shrouded in secrecy, it serves as a stark reminder of the real-world consequences of SS7 vulnerabilities. The financial impact on both the bank and its customers was significant, but the reputational damage proved even more profound. It underscored the importance of implementing more secure alternatives, such as app-based authentication or hardware tokens, to mitigate the risks posed by SS7 vulnerabilities. The year is 2024. The United States finds itself grappling with a different kind of SS7 nightmare. A sophisticated espionage campaign dubbed Salt Typhoon by cybersecurity experts targets the very heart of America's telecommunications infrastructure. The perpetrators, widely believed to be a state-sponsored hacking group with ties to China, infiltrate major U.S. telecom companies, gaining unprecedented access to sensitive data and communication networks. Salt Typhoon, unlike the financially motivated Metro Bank attack, focuses on long-term espionage and surveillance. The attackers' targets read like a who's who of American power and influence, including high-profile individuals in government, the military, and the private sector. The attackers' ability to remain undetected within these telecom networks for an extended period is a testament to their sophistication and the complacency surrounding SS7 security. Verizon, AT&T, and numerous other domestic and international carriers fall victim to Salt Typhoon, their systems compromised, their customers' data potentially compromised. Salt Typhoon exposed not only the technical vulnerabilities of SS7, but also the geopolitical stakes at play in the ongoing cyber warfare between nations. Section 5. The Pentagon's Predicament, Acknowledging the Telecom Threat. As the dust settles on the Salt Typhoon espionage campaign, the U.S. Department of Defense finds itself in a precarious position. Tasked with safeguarding national security, the DoD relies heavily on the very same telecommunications infrastructure that has proven so vulnerable to attack. The Pentagon, once seemingly impervious, is forced to confront the uncomfortable reality of its own exposure. In a series of white papers submitted to Congress in 2024, the DoD acknowledges the security vulnerabilities inherent in its contracted telecom services. While the DoD employs encryption for certain communications, it remains largely reliant on telecom companies to address vulnerabilities like location tracking and call interception. This reliance on external entities, coupled with the lack of transparency regarding the effectiveness of their security measures, leaves the DoD in a vulnerable position. Senators, alarmed by the Salt Typhoon revelations and the DoD's own admissions, raise concerns about the adequacy of the department's cybersecurity protocols. The calls for a thorough investigation into the DoD's communication security failures grow louder, demanding accountability and concrete steps to mitigate future risks. The Pentagon's predicament underscores the interconnectedness of cybersecurity in the 21st century. Section 6. Audits and Opacity, a Barrier to Collective Defense. In the aftermath of Salt Typhoon and the DoD's own security assessments, pressure mounts on U.S. telecom companies to address their SS7 vulnerabilities. The government, seeking reassurance that its communications infrastructure is not compromised, requests access to the results of internal security audits conducted by these companies. However, the telecom giants, citing attorney-client privilege, refused to disclose the findings of their SS7-related audits. This lack of transparency, while legally justifiable, creates an environment of mistrust and hinders the collective effort to strengthen national cybersecurity. Without a clear understanding of the vulnerabilities that exist and the measures being taken to address them, the government is left operating in the dark, unable to effectively assess or mitigate the risks posed to its own operations and the citizens it is sworn to protect. This opacity surrounding SS7 security audits creates a dangerous information asymmetry. The very entities entrusted with protecting critical communications infrastructure are unwilling to share vital information about the effectiveness of their security measures. Section 7. The 7 Act, a beacon of hope in a sea of vulnerabilities. Amidst SS7 vulnerabilities, hope emerges from Congress. Representative August Pfluger introduces the 7 Act to address telecom security gaps. The 7 Act aims to mitigate SS7 vulnerabilities. It calls for a coordinated government effort and transparency. Section 8. The Urgency of Now, Strengthening Our Digital Defenses. The interconnected world of SS7 highlights our digital vulnerabilities. From financial attacks to espionage, the risks are immense. Rapid tech evolution and sophisticated threats amplify the urgency. We must move from reactive to proactive cybersecurity. A holistic approach prioritizes security from the ground up. Telecom companies must invest in securing their networks. Regular audits and robust measures are essential. Governments play a crucial role. Legislation like the 7 Act fosters collaboration against cyber threats. Section 9. Beyond Awareness, Empowering Action for a Secure Future. In the face of evolving cyber threats, awareness is not enough. We must move beyond simply acknowledging the vulnerabilities inherent in systems like SS7, and empower individuals, businesses, and governments to take concrete action to protect themselves and their data. Education is paramount. Individuals need to be aware of the risks associated with SS7 vulnerabilities, and understand the steps they can take to mitigate them. This includes being cautious about the information they share online, using strong and unique passwords, and enabling two-factor authentication whenever possible. Businesses, particularly those operating in critical infrastructure sectors, must prioritize cybersecurity training for their employees, fostering a culture of security awareness from the boardroom to the mailroom. The future of our digital lives depends on our collective willingness to take cybersecurity seriously.